Hello, bonjour, namaste, ni hao, and ohio everybody. What is going on? It is Gale right here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi Memoria Freese video. And you already know what time it is. It is another week of Record Buster. So today, we're going to be challenging the Record Buster stage. We're going up against Ottarl today. And of course, we're going to be checking out what ailment he inflicts, his resistances, his weaknesses, and of course we'll be seeing what kind of score I will get in my first run against him. Now of course, if you guys go on to enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel for more Danmachi and Danmachi Memoria Freese content, and of course let me know in the comment section down below, how are you guys faring in this Record Buster? Are you guys doing well? Are you guys doing okay, or is it not going too well? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say down below. Now, as always, before we get into the fight itself, we have to check the news page and see what our boy Ottarl is capable of doing. Now, I expect him to be stunned, as always. No, never mind. Sealed. It's gonna be sealed this time around. Okay, that's fine. That's something that we can manage. Of course, we have the glorious anklets for it. It really doesn't make too much of a difference if it's stun or seal. We have glorious anklets ready, but this is something I always recommend to new and older players, those of you guys who are, you know, getting ready for Record Buster and trying to get higher scores in Record Buster. Try and craft as many glorious anklets as possible. While it is more often than not stun, there is a situation where it can go in towards being sealed, sleep, and rarely it happens to be poison or charm. Those two ailments are very rare in comparison to stun, seal, and sleep. Those three ailments are the most common ones to happen, with stun I would say being the most common out of the lot. So this is the team we're going to be taking into the fight. Of course, we have a bunch of light units here. The light team is the way to go for me personally. Of course, the recommended element at the very bottom, as you can see, is dark, which means that it is probably going to be weak to dark magic attacks because of the Sword of Rotoria Volume 10 eyes, right? So that is very, very possible. But we'll still take this team. We'll see how it goes, of course, against Ottarl. And, of course, the assists are all in line with going up against a team that is capable of inflicting light attacks with, of course, units like Alkitian and Erebus giving us light damage and light res down respectively. And then of course we have Apollo, who's capable of giving us physical res down. And then you have other units that are very common, and Ollie, of course, a unit that is actually going to be rerunning next week, so very much recommended to pull for her. She's capable of giving MP regeneration as well as SA gate charge, which is really, really handy. And then you of course have Kid Felice as well as eyes, giving basically some extra bits of power via the single target damage increase from Kid Felice, and then eyes giving that SR up as well as SAK charge up. So we're going to be running this team. Now, first thing I'm going to do is switch out the glorious anklets for the right ones. So as you can see, I've currently got stun equipped. So if you see the symbol next to Belt's face on the right hand side, you can see that there is a stun symbol basically. Seal is effectively the circle with the cross in between. So we're going to just give everybody that basically. It's very easy to understand the symbols when it comes to the glorious anklets, actually, in all honesty. So ZZZ is of course sleep, the sort of stars and the circle is stun, cross and a circle around it is seal, heart is charm, and the bubbles is poison basically, and then the timer is slow, of course. So that's how you can basically predict which ailments are what basically for the glorious anklets in particular. So let's give everybody the glorious anklets and let's get going into this fight. Let's see how this goes. I'm very curious to see what sort of score we're gonna get, of course, right? Because I don't think we faced off against Ottarl in a bit. I know we had him recently as well, but I feel like Ottarl and Finn, those two in particular are super rare for some reason nowadays. I feel like we commonly get Revis and Riveria, and then maybe sometimes Gareth, but Finn, I think we've only gotten once in the last 6-7 months basically, and Ottarl like 2 or 3 times at most in the last 6 or 7 months. It's very, very rare, I feel, to face off against Ottarl, but nonetheless, we'll see how this goes. Let's get into the fight. And of course, Wine and Riveria, the reason why I haven't gone into their pages is because they're given revolving anklets. So I don't need to change much there. They've already been given the revolving amulets. So let's get into the fight and let's see what we're capable of doing up against my boy Ottarl on difficulty 7. Let me switch off auto battle really quickly there. That was really close. So of course, like the recommended element suggested, we should be taking dark element team in here. But we like to do things differently. And yeah, as you can see here, there is no light res, it seems like. Okay, so no light res. There is a physical res of about 40%, I'd say. I think, yeah, 40%, because 25% decrease from, of course, Apollo. There we go. Got there in the end. I was gonna say Erebus for some reason. Erebus is giving the light res down. Apollo is giving the physical res down. And you can see with a minus 50% to dark element, as well as the magic minus 60%, you're ideally wanting to take, units like the eyes. You want to take units like the dicks, for example. You want to take the Reveria assist as well. So those are the units you'll want to take into this fight. But of course, we don't have them at high limit breaks. The light team is still very universal. So let's go and take this team. Now, the thing with Ottarl, right, is that he's very similar to Reveria in terms of what he strips away, basically. And on turn 4, at the end of turn 4 and the start of turn 5, as well as at the end of turn 8 and the start of turn 9, he will basically strip away all your buffs. So you want to reapply your buffs at the start of turn 5, basically. So that's the idea behind this. Of course, this will allow us to basically use Wine to be able to get the extra P-res down and damage received very early on in the fight. So let's buff up everybody right now and get things going, shall we? So Agios, Leading Spear, Indomitable Sword, and Painful Present. Let's get things rolling, shall we? So you can see that we're getting counters off as well, which is brilliant. Of course, we don't have any very defensive assists or adventurers right now outside of Haruhime, who will be coming in from the back. So we'll just continue buffing everybody up. Holy thrust there, beautiful. Now, one of the things that we will be doing in this fight is that we're going to be using Finn's special arts on turn 4. Now, you might be wondering, Gale, why are you using Finn's special arts on turn 4? That's a little bit of a weird move, right? Well, couple of reasons why we're going to be using Finn's special arts, but we'll get on to that when once we get to turn 4. So far it's been very straightforward. We obviously have thankfully we have Haruhime bringing in Sakuna, which will give us that extra bit of SA gate charge as well, which is brilliant. But now, the reason why we are using Finn's special arts on turn 4 is because on his additional actions for his special arts, he decreases the opponent's P-res by 60% for 2 turns, and then he gives all allies STR magic, endurance, agility, dexterity plus 60%, and SA gate charge gain by 66% for 2 turns on allies. Now, the reason why we're doing this on turn 4 is because basically at the start of turn 5, when we do reapply everybody's buffs, his additional actions will also go off, and thereby allowing us to basically implement all those debuffs as well as buffs, so that we can take advantage of those beautiful additional actions. The additional actions aren't stripped away by Ottarl, so keep that in mind when you're doing this sort of a fight. All right, let's go with Yaozu. Let's go with Yaozu, because even though Migiri would probably be a bit better to extend the debuffs on Ottarl, because his debuffs don't get cleared. I think it'll be better for us to go with Yaozu, because of course Fianna will anyways extend these debuffs anyways with her additional actions. So let's go with Yaozu, get that additional action going, and obviously we get to see the beautiful special art animation of Finn. I feel like, I mean, I was just thinking about it yesterday actually, when I was doing some events and stuff, and I realized that back in the day, during the 3rd and 2nd anniversary, the special arts animations were like 2 seconds long at most, but then you look at the Hero Festa animations and stuff, they are long, bro. They are so lengthy. But I mean, hey, that's just how the animations are nowadays in Danmachi Memoria Freese, and that's just how gacha games are, to be honest. The more you age a gacha game, the more, you know, extravagant it gets, basically, or the more extra they become, basically. So that's something to bear in mind. All right, let's go with buffing up everybody again. Sakuna, Indomitable Sword, Leading Spear. Agios, basically this is a turn to effectively buff up everybody, of course, right? So let's just get that going. Basically, Indomitable Sword, Leading Spear goes off. Beautiful, absolutely brilliant. Okay, now we can use Migiri, Firebolt Strike, Piercing Spear, Holy Thrust. Let's go. Actually, I'm gonna do Yaozu here. Yeah, I'm gonna do Yaozu here because even though I could obviously extend using Haruhime, on turn 8 he's gonna strip away our buffs anyways, and currently the debuffs on Ottarl are relatively lengthy. It's one turn for the P-res down, which will of course increase thanks to our girl Fianna right here. And then on top of that, we also have the ability to effectively extend it on the second turn anyways by a lot. So I'm not too worried about this. We'll stick with Holy Thrust, Piercing Spear, and Firebolt Strike. Let's go with that. There we go. All right, Holy Thrust. Now that'll extend the debuffs. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Inflicts a slow. No, no. God damn it. Okay, we got a slow on all three of our characters. Brilliant. Just fantastic. All right, Piercing Spear, Warblade, Migiri, and a Holy Thrust. Okay, let's go with that. There we go. Now what we're going to do is on turn 8 as well, we're going to do the exact same thing we just did a second ago, and we are going to basically use Finn's special arts once again, basically, to be able to effectively do the same thing again, where we can reapply the buffs on everybody on the following turn, basically. So that's what we're going to do. Firebolt Strike, Yaozu, Holy Thrust. Let's let her rip. There we go. All right. I'm gonna skip the essay animation here because we've seen it already. We've seen it once already. I'm gonna skip the animation. 2.1 million there, not too shabby. We're dealing a lot of damage considering all things said and done. I'm very curious to see what Bell's damage is, because ideally in a very neutral scenario, of course, with us applying the debuffs and everything, and there not being any sort of initial resistance from the enemy, Bell should do around 5 million-ish in terms of damage. It'll be very interesting to see where it ends up in this situation. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the special arts on Haruhime here. We're going to do Indomitable Sword, we're going to do Leading Spear, and we're going to do Agios Amnesia here. So let's launch it off. Let's see what we can do here. Of course, Haruhime gives us that beautiful 120% strength boost as well, which will allow us to deal extra bits of damage, of course. Counter there, thank you. Ooh. I'm a bit worried that on turn 12, which is when he launches his big special arts, we could run into a little bit of an issue here, but I don't think it should be too much of a problem. I don't think so, at least. Let's use Piercing Spear, Holy Thrust. Let's use Sakuna here. Yeah, I think that'll be a good idea. Using Sakuna here and then Yaozu, Migiri. Okay, yeah, that'll be a good idea. All right, let's do this. Because Sakuna I'm doing right here so that we can get the heals going. Because, of course, Haruhime can counter. And, of course, we have Kokono as an additional action. But I think it'll be better for us to basically take advantage of any extra heals that we can get, basically, from Haruhime on this turn. Alright, now we can... I think we'll do an extension here. We'll go with Piercing Spear and Warblade right here. Let's see how this goes. I'm very curious to see if we can get a special arts going on this turn. I think we can. We can get a triple special arts going. Beautiful. Alright. I may have misjudged this, and I might have probably wanted to go for an earlier special arts potentially. But I think we'll go with what we've done here, basically, and go for a triple here. I'm gonna go for a triple. Yaozu here. Actually, no. What I'm gonna do here is... I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this and see what happens here. So we're gonna do a special arts with both Finn and Bell here, basically, instead of doing a special arts with Fianna as well. Purely because I feel like we could probably get a double special arts or maybe even a triple special arts on turn 15. I'm changing things up a little bit here, and we'll see how it goes. Now, of course, this is where I would say I kind of like the new Memorias they're releasing. Obviously, if you have seen the most recent Memoria release, right, the one with Ottarl, 4 million there. Okay, not too shabby. I mean, of course, with initial resistances, it's not surprising there. Let's skip the Finn special arts. But the most recent Memoria, right, with Ottarl giving, the Ottarl Memoria giving Earth and I think it's Thunder. I think it's Earth and Thunder damage up by like 6% from turns 11 to 15. I think that would be very nice to get for the light team personally, because I use obviously my special arts from turns 11 to 15 primarily. So it would be really, really helpful, to be honest. It would definitely be really, really helpful, I would say. Alright, so let's see what happens here. Now, hopefully we don't take too much damage from Ottarl here. I am a little bit concerned that we are going to take a little bit of damage, but we obviously have P-res up and all that, as well as some decent supportability. Yeah, I think I was like, I'm pretty sure we will be fine, but a little bit worrying still, nonetheless. It always is a little bit of a worry. Alright, I think we will go with this. Piercing Spear, Holy Thrust, Migiri. Yep, okay. Let's see how this goes. I'm very curious to see how this is going to go. Heal. Oh, Finn is in a very precarious position. Finn was in a very precarious position, but we're fine, I think. Okay, that was very close. That was a bit too risky, potentially. Alright, now we go for double Yaozu, Piercing Spear, and Holy Thrust. So yeah, now, I don't think we will be able to get, unfortunately, the triple special arts, unfortunately, on turn 15. I think maybe if we did the special arts turn earlier, maybe on turn 11, potentially we would have been able to get the triple special arts on the final turn. But I think this is still good enough. Being able to get a double special arts with Bell and Finn is still very, very good. Let's skip the special arts animations. We've seen these enough, to be honest. 3.8 million there. Not that great, unfortunately. As I said, usually you get like 4 million plus or 5 million plus if it is a very neutral scenario. But in this situation, 4 million plus would be ideal. But I mean, it's not too shabby. Maybe in another run, I can probably fine tune it a little bit more. Alright, let's see what the total damage is looking like. What's going to be our score? I don't know whose group I'm in or if I'm in any of the top players' groups, but let's see. Let's have a look-see. Beautiful. Good job, everybody. Good job. Absolutely brilliant. Battle end. Let's see what our score is. I'm gonna assume 1.2 billion? 1.6 billion nearly. Nice. Oh, I'm with Kanto. I know him as well. I think he is in the Discord as well, in my Discord as well. Beautiful. I'll take the 1.6 billion. I wonder where that puts us overall. Rank 67. No, it's not too shabby. I don't think that's too shabby whatsoever. Of course, you know, the top players are probably running, you know, the likes of a full-on dark magic team with a mixture of wind as well. I can see that. Fair enough. Pokemon, I really appreciate you dropping me the link to a YouTube video. Not that I need to watch it right now, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what teams you guys are running. I'm very curious to see if you guys are running a proper dark magic team as it suggests, or are you just running a team that's really strong in just terms of like a more type effective team that you have at higher limit breaks. You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot more people potentially running a full physical earth team, because I do think that the new Hero Festa Ottarl is actually a pretty solid PvE option, in all honesty. Him being able to give 240% damage to himself as well and everything, I think he's a pretty decent option as well. Let me know what you guys think though. Let me know what you guys are rocking. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy, everybody. Bye bye.